Hi. I'm going to continue. This is part 3 of why the Muslims really basically have to recognize that Israel belongs to the Jews, according to the Qur'an. Now read the title called Jerusalem. And by the way, this is written by a Muslim named, what was his name? Sheikh Professor Abdul Hadi Palazi. What the Quran really says. He says the Quran says that Allah gave the land of Israel to the Jews and restore them to it at the end of days. And of course I read the scriptures from the Quran that he used, but I'll continue here. Jerusalem in the Quran. Okay. The most common argument against Muslim acknowledgement of Israeli sovereignty over Jerusalem is that since Al-Quds, Jerusalem, is a holy place for Muslims, Muslims cannot accept it that is ruled by non-Muslims because such acceptance amounts to a betrayal of Islam. Before expressing our point of view on this question, we must reflect upon the reason for which Jerusalem and Masjid al-Aqsa, the Al-Aqsa Mosque, hold such a sacred position in Islamic faith. As well as known, the inclusion of Jerusalem among the Islamic holy places derives from Al-Miraj, the ascension of the Prophet Muhammad to heaven. The ascension began at the rock, usually identified by Muslim scholars as the foundation stone of the Jewish temple in Jerusalem, referred to in Jewish sources. Recalling this link requires us to admit that there is no connection between Al-Miraj, the ascension, and the Muslim sovereign rights over Jerusalem, since in that time that Al-Miraj took place, the city was not under Islamic, but under Byzantine administration. Moreover, the Quran expressly recognizes that Jerusalem plays for Jews the same role that Mecca does for Muslims. We read, quote, "They would not follow thy direction of prayer, Qibla, nor art thou to follow their direction of prayer, nor indeed will they follow each other's direction of prayer." That's I don't know what part of the Quran that is. Maybe you'll set the bottom here. But anyway, that's supposedly from the Quran. See, all Quranic commentators explain the thy Qibla, direction of prayer for Muslims, is clearly the Kaaba of Mecca, while their Qibla, direction of prayer for Jews, refers to the Temple Mount in Jerusalem. To quote only one of the most important Muslim commentators, we read in Qadbaidan's commentary, quote, "Verily, in their prayers, Jews orientate themselves toward the rock, Sakra, while Christians orientate themselves eastward. In complete opposition to what Islamic fundamentalists continuously claim, the Book of Islam, the Quran, as we have just now seen, recognizes Jerusalem as a Jewish direction of prayer. Some Muslim commentaries also quote the Book of Daniel as proof of this. After reviewing the relevant Quranic passages concerning this matter, I conclude that no one denies Muslims complete sovereignty over Mecca from an Islamic point of view. Despite opposing groundless claims, there is no reason for Muslims to deny the state of Israel, which is a Jewish state, a complete sovereignty over Jerusalem. Islamic holy places. Anti-Jewish sentiments expressed by Islamic leaders throughout the Middle East are in fact not religious in nature, but rather political. The best proof of this is in the fact that Islamic anti-Judaism is quite recent. Omar ended the Roman ban that prevented Jews to enter Jerusalem. The Umayyad caliphs in Cordoba built synagogues for Maimonides, sorry, and Salahuddin, after defeating the Crusaders, wrote to the Jewish leaders, quote, Your exile is over. Whoever wants to come back is welcome. The late King Faisal of Iraq openly expressed his sympathy of the Zionist movement, while King Abdullah of Jordan was compelled to wage war against Israel by other Arab leaders. Recently, the resident Arab Palestinian Wakef has made pronouncements such as the Western Wall, Kotel, is not a Jewish shrine, but rather the wall to which the prophet's steed was tethered, or at best the wall surrounding the Muslim mosque. The Waqf has also stated that all of Hebron should be turned over to the resident Arab Palestinian Authority, and the Jews would be forbidden to pray in the cave of the patriarchs. These kinds of declarations by the PLO gangsters are ridiculous and absurd. The Kotel was effectively, according to the Islamic tradition, a place where Al-Barak, the prophet's steed, was tethered. But it was already an existing part of the Herodian structure. Muslims have never prayed close to it, and it has never had a special relevance in Islam. On the contrary, everyone knows how important it is to Jewish worshippers. Apart from Mecca, no holy place is off limits for non-Muslims. Historic sources say the Prophet Muhammad entertained a delegation of Christians from Negron in the Mosque of Medina and permitted them to celebrate a mass inside the mosque, notwithstanding the fact that Christian rites can include words that are against Islam, such as the statement of Jesus as God. There is nothing in Jewish worship that can be offensive for Muslims, and nothing in Islamic law prevents Jews to pray on Haram al-Sharif Har Habayat, the Temple Mount, in the cave of Machpelah, or in any other place that is regarded as holy by Muslims. Every time I meet those who say otherwise, I ask them to identify a single authoritative Islamic source, such as legal proof of their claim. None of them has ever answered such a request of mine. So, notes. The original Arabic word for translating the king. Okay, well, we know. Anyway, he used those scriptures from the Qur'an to show you that, guess what? The Holy Land, Israel, belongs to the Jews. According to the Qur'an. Either that or the Qur'an is false, so it's up to you, Muslims, to decide that. And there you go. Bye.